Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. So today we're doing a follow-up to the Sun Energise video. So that is the solar panel that was sent out to me by a Amazon seller, and this is for any Eufy cameras that you might have installed. So I did install this, it's been a little over a week now, and I did say that I was going to do a follow-up, so this is basically that. Since my original installation, so since the original video, I did change the setup about quite a bit. So I did actually relocate the solar panel. I bought a sort of camera shield, camera cover off Amazon, and I used that to cover up the back of the camera, and I also put a little bit of glue just to hold the actual cable in place as well, because that's one of the biggest things when you don't have some sort of a special mount to hold the cable in place, is it slowly comes out, and basically that ends up resetting these cameras for some reason. So what I did do is I just put a little bit of glue on it. Hopefully it'll help with sealing it, stop any water ingress, but the top of the camera is covered in. Okay, so here we are back a few days later, and I've actually changed it. So I've put this hood over the camera as opposed to the actual solar panel, and I will be relocating the solar panel down here somewhere, or possibly around the other side, to actually get a better connection. Here you should be able to get a better look. So what I'm also going to do is just put some hot glue over the actual connector itself, over the cable. The purpose of the hot glue is literally just to fill in any gaps, because the cable does actually push in quite nicely. For the most part, everything's covered. So if you look at it, you can see just a tiny little bit of the actual metal connector. So the idea of the hot glue isn't necessarily to hold it in place or seal it or anything. It's literally just to fill that gap. And because nobody's going to be moving this particular camera, it should hopefully keep it in good stead. The performance has actually been really good, but what I'll do is I'll do the proper update after 7 days or 5 days or whatever I decide to do, as opposed to today, which, as you can see, it's raining and we've got a really overcast day, but it's still actually getting charged, and it's still actually charging up as well. Okay, so this is final setup for now. Camera is attached. I will be cable tying this cable in. At the moment I just can't find any of the clips anywhere inside. So the sort of cover is covering just the end part of this. Obviously I have added a little bit more glue to that, just to give it a bit more protection, and I'll show you the other side in just a sec. Okay, so this is what it looks like for now. So obviously the idea of the cover is just to cover the back part of the camera. The camera is all weather sealed anyway, so it's literally just a charging port that I needed to actually. And coming around to the other side, I now have the solar panel mounted on the sort of back side of the kitchen extension, just to make sure it gets as much light as possible. As I said, I will be cable tying all of this up neatly. I just haven't got any clips inside today being a Sunday. Not much is open here in the UK. I have angled it slightly because we do tend to get better sort of sunlight from that side. Generally, obviously past midday, most of your sunlight's going to be coming from that direction there, so that's why I've angled it slightly to the left hand side, just so then it maximizes how much light it's actually being able to get. These ones, they tend to be, from the charging rate already, it tends to be a lot more efficient compared to that one, and especially compared to that one. That one is hovering around 80% mark for that particular camera, which, to be fair, does get more use. And this one, the genuine Eufy one, is basically maxed out at the moment. Obviously come summer, this one usually drops down to about 70-80%, something like that, whereas this one, in just a couple of days of rain and overcast weather, has managed to get this particular camera, I believe it was roughly around 63%, something like that, and it's now already up to 77%. So all is well. So with regards to the actual sort of panel itself, the performance and everything like that, so what I'll do is I'll just pull up the back gate camera now, and I'll have it on screen anyway, but as you can see from that, we are at 100%, and basically we've been at 100% pretty much since I would say maybe the second or third day. So this went from, I believe it was around 56-57%, all the way up to 100% within a couple of days. It was raining, it was overcast for a couple of those days as well, and basically it's maintained 100% charge since then. Now it doesn't get that much usage, granted, but it's not like it's never used. And whenever I pull up HomeKit on the TV, it does also refresh all the other cameras as well. So it's not like it's just never getting any use at all. For me, the solar panel's doing exactly what it's meant to do. There are pros and cons to it. So I think where the genuine Eufy one, or the first party one, is better is with the little special mount that they give you. So when you actually insert the cable, it's got an extra mount that actually pushes that cable in and it keeps it pressed in. So obviously if you can get a rubber grommet on the end of it, then that means it is properly weather sealed. So I've got no worries about the sort of Eufy solar panel ever getting any water ingress, as opposed to the original sort of flap that they have on those cameras, which is awful in my opinion. Another sort of con of it is the fact that firstly there is no rubber grommet, there is no weather sealing, and secondly the fact that the end of the actual USB cable itself is so long that depending on how you're mounting the camera, if you're mounting your camera with the mount on the side, then it's perfectly fine and you'll have plenty of access to it. But if you're mounting your camera where you have the mount there and you've got the camera angled down, wherever you've got the actual mount, because it does have a little bit that sticks out and then it will go up almost like that, and this sort of gap here is far too short for you to actually get that cable in and actually rotate the camera around so it's level. Hence why I wasn't able to actually connect this up to my porch camera, which is where I wanted to actually do the testing, because that's the most used. So yeah, there are some pros and cons. For me, does it do the job? Yes, it's working perfectly fine. I've had no issues, no restarts, no reboots. I've never gone into the app and it's showing as not charging. Even right now, it's basically staying on 100%. And just coming into the actual Eufy app itself, if I just go into the power managements, and yeah, I do have it set to solar panel at the moment. On the Eufy app, it doesn't actually show any icon for the fact that it's actually getting charged, unless it's literally referring to the little sun icon that's actually on there. But when I go into HomeKit, I can actually just come into the settings and you can clearly see it from the actual status itself that yes, it is actually receiving charge, and the charging level is basically, the battery level is at 100%. In terms of the actual panel itself, no issues. Once I've relocated it, I've been able to get it mounted slightly better, and you should have already seen that from some of the insert videos that I actually did. If you are interested in the actual camera cover, I'll have that listed in the description below, as well as the actual solar panel itself, and I'll also chuck in a link for the genuine or the first party Eufy solar panel as well. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you do have any questions, drop them down in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. If you haven't already done so, please do subscribe and also hit the bell icon, that way you'll be notified whenever I upload any new videos. And I really appreciate if you also give this video a thumbs up. And other than that, thanks very much for watching.